been over the years. We've had a lot of meetings, a lot of hearings, but the consistency is really important on this issue. And I would hope that USAID and the State Department follow some consistency moving forward.
Should we take questions from the audience?
I just want to add one thing. For the diplomatic community, I mean, pressure, as my colleague said, yes. And one thing that I think it was kind of implicit there is that the messaging from the diplomatic corps is very confusing to the Congolese. You never know, for activists on the ground, for the opposition, for civil society, they never really show is the US with us or not with us. For those of us who are anchored in the Congolese community, people always ask us, yet another meeting? What does that mean? And most of the time I don't know what to tell them, like, yeah, I said, another meeting. So that messaging is very important. If the US doesn't support, the US, I expect to support a fair, credible, and transparent election. That should be clear. But it should also be clear that the US will support the Congolese in Article 64, because that's the law of their country. And the US should not stand on the way that we don't want you to consider a transition without Kabila. Well, it is an option. It's a constitutional option for the Congolese. And Kabila likes pressure. Somehow we react to that. So let the Congolese put their own pressure if we are not willing to accompany them in that way. Thank you.
Thanks. I think we're in the absence of time, as JT put.
Sorry.
We have until 3:30 for the panel, and so I want to take maybe 3 questions up front. Please identify yourself and make sure you're asking a question. All right, Sasha, and then the gentleman back here to begin. Go ahead.
Sure. No mic, but I'm loud, so that's fine. Thanks a lot for the panel. Really appreciated it. 2 comments. I wanted to reemphasize Paul's point
I
about.
don't think that's a question, but go on.
Quick comment and a question. Quick comment is I want to reemphasize Paul's point about the Global Magnitsky Act. We believe there will be likely another round of sanctions issued as part of that before the end of the year. And of course, Dan Gertler, who was sanctioned under that regime, had close business partners in Congo, as well as other officials who were been involved in a lot of corruption and human rights abuses. So I think that would be a very appropriate mechanism to use at this point. My question is if you all had any comment about this bill that is going to be voted on tonight on the House floor, the Congo Democracy and Accountability Act, and what should be done to follow up on it. Thanks.
The gentleman back here.
My name is Kevin Kabunga. I'm from the DRC. And my question is to Ms. November mostly on the Article 64. I read the law of the land, but I just thought about people who are still losing their lives just because of so many years of wars. I am from the East. I was born in Goma. And even moving to this country, it was after the M23 attacked Goma. I was there on the bombs and all of that. And so I don't get how some people, Congolese, can push for war while I'm victim of it for many years. My son was 6 years at the time, and he could breathe or laugh only when he saw me. And so I've been in that situation for more than 20 years because since the 90, Goma and the eastern country is at war. And so my question is, why are you pushing for that article?